All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakapadai. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who well, and salutations to the hopeful elect brothers out there pushing this truth with all diligence and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. All right. Um, Spirit just hit me about thinking on the IUIC as I was headed home from work. You know, how they push the law so adamantly. They push it over Yahweh Shai, you know, which pretty much distorts the whole reason why the Lord came, man. You know, the whole reason why the Lord came was to redeem us from the law. Now that doesn't mean that He destroyed the law, no. All right, because it says, He basically made us a intercession for us to be able to receive the new covenant of us keeping the laws by nature, man. All right, but it's being able to keep the laws perfectly, but we were provided grace to enter into that. All right. So hey, we're no more under the law, but under grace. Did you guys not read Paul's letter, or did he follow the truth too? You know, because I forget which group. I think these guys say that there was John the Baptist that fell out the truth or something like that. And or was that it's one of these alphabet groups. It might be ISUBK. But the thing is that uh, 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 we're not going to be redeemed by following the law. Now, does that mean that we just go off and sin? No, because we understand that the law was created for a reason. All right, it's perfect. It's the ways of Yahweh Shem Shai, but we are not perfect. All right, so we strive to keep the law through the spirit of Yahweh Shai. You know, what will Yahweh Shai do, man? All right, understanding that we're not perfect, man. It even says the mere thoughts of man are sin. So with that being said, we're never going to be able to enter into the rest by keeping the law. All right, it's going to be by the sure mercies of David. It's going to be by the redemption of the blood through Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, who you guys refuse to call upon. All right. How about they talk about the law, but they don't keep the law. They don't keep the Sabbath. That's the Sabbath right now, man. They're not keeping that. All right. It's adultery running rapid all through their congregation. You know, and this isn't me just speculating or trying to call them out or anything. It's things that they need to clean up, and they're clearly going off. Men with long hair, men with shaved head, all that shit's off, man. All right, that's not the only thing. Even with this meme is pretty much on point. You know, aside from the last one, because it's nothing going off about having a woman outside your race. Nothing going off about that. It was when Jake started to turn to their guys, but nowadays, they're talking about get with the Israelite women, get the Israelite sisters. They don't date them white women. That's what they say in their congregation. But hey, those women that they are either committing adultery in their congregation, then hey, our women they're not right. They'll have your ass worship. Well, what they do worship JC in that church. I forgot, man. Because the IUIC should be the Israel United in Church, man. They're really just another church. They're under a 501c3 chart. It's an easy integration from Christianity to that. It's no different, man. All right. You still got what does it say in the scriptures? It says every man named after another's wife. All right. You have that just like you have in the Christian church, man, where the pastor's trying to sleep with everybody's woman, man. All right. That goes on in their congregation, man. But nonetheless, not to get off into you know gossip. This is primarily about the fact that the Lord came so that we'll be redeemed from going off, man. The law became sin unto us because we started. It really is because we broke it. We can't help but break it. This body is not subject to Yahweh Shemi Shai in that way. Not by the Spirit anyway. All right, it's subject unto sin. All right. This is Romans chapter 8, and I'm gonna start at verse 1. There is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Hamashiach Yahushai. That's the Lord's true name in the Hebrew, man. not this name, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. So we're walking after the spirit, man. For the law of the spirit of life in Hamashiach Yahushua has made me free from the law of sin and death. Now, now the scripture, now the law that the Lord gave us is hey, it's not sin, but once you look, hey, once we go off, it becomes sin to you, man. All right, really, hey, like Paul said, when he read the letter, he was dead. Why? Because it told him everything that he had that's natural unto us that we do is you're not fit for the kingdom of heaven, man. All right, so much that you can even have a wet dream on the Sabbath. Guess what? You just went off because you're not supposed to be unclean on the Sabbath. All right. So even in the slightest of ways, oh, the Lord will redeem. Yeah. Well, why would He? Because of grace. Because if you really do go into this to how Yahweh Shai Shai is, hey, he's a man. Hey, he slew a man just for touching the ark, and this man wasn't trying to touch the ark to go off. He was trying to keep it from slipping. He was trying to do a just thing, man. Y'all don't know the Heavenly Father. He's about His word. Moses, what was that? Mount Horeb smote the rock, and he didn't honor the Lord. But he wasn't trying to dishonor the Lord either. He made a slip at the speech, and guess what? He wasn't allowed into the rest because the Most High Yahweh Shai Shai is a man of His word. So it's either you want to do the law, or you want to do grace, man. But you can't do both. We have the law of the Spirit, like Paul just said. It says, "For what the law could not do, and that it was weak through the flesh." So that's why the law became weak to us because this flesh is weak. It's not that contract that that contract was made void to us, man, because we couldn't keep it. All right, we needed a champion. We needed a good lawyer to fight us to get us back into the clause of Yahweh Shem Shai, to get us back into this covenant, into this contract agreement. All right, with all these good promises. Yahweh Shem Shai, our power, He sent us a good lawyer, a lawyer that joined us back unto Him. All right. It says, "For what the law could not do, and that it was weak through the flesh, the Most High sending His own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh." All right, so He had a man to come down. That's how He brought back the contract. He had a man come down without spot or blemish. All right, to be a blood offering for us. All right, the Most High sending His own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh, which also that proves that Mary wasn't a virgin. All right, because how did all we come into this flesh by sex, man? But that's another story for a different time. But yeah, hey, He came down in the same way. He came down in the same way, and and that's how he was able to bring us back, man. All right, He came through His brethren. All right, like it's written in the book of Matthew, He shall save His people from their sins, man. All right, He shall save His people Israel, man, and that's what the Lord did. Skipping on down, actually, I'm gonna read verse 4. It says that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. All right, verse 34. It says, "Who is He that condemneth?" Right. So you got guys like the IUIC that'll say you got to keep the law, otherwise you're going to hell. They damn near be saying that, man. Like the guy in Chicago, inside joke. If anybody knows about the guy in Chicago, always on the corner, you're going to hell. And that's that guy, man. He's a damn near celebrity, man. But yeah, they preach this, man. All right. It says, "It is Hamashiach that died, yet rather that is risen again, who is even at the right hand of the Most High, who also maketh intercession for us." So yeah, we do strive to be in the Lord's good graces. Don't get me wrong. We don't try to go off, but nonetheless, we're in the flesh. All right. We're not like Israel setting up a sin offering, or we're saying that Yahweh Shai is gonna forgive me. No, you strive to not do that, man. As a matter of fact, um, I'm gonna come back to Galatians. Yeah, this is Sirach 21:1. My son, has thou sinned? Do so no more, but ask pardon for thy former sins. Flee from sin as from the face of a serpent. For if thou comest too near it, it will bite thee. Right? You jacking up on purpose, man. You out there committing adultery, which to ask that we're all committing adultery, but you know that this woman has a man. All right, you're doing that. The Most High let somebody jack you up for that, or the Lord, He may touch you. He can either let that man touch you, or He can touch you directly, man. Smite you with some incurable disease that you didn't see coming, or what have you, man. Have you get struck by lightning, or die in some freak accident. It says the teeth thereof are the teeth of a lion, slaying the souls of men. It says all iniquity is as a two-edged sword, the wounds whereof cannot be healed. All right, to terrify and do wrong will waste riches. Thus the house of proud men shall be made desolate. Which we know ultimately that this is talking about Esau Edom, but how much more those that follow after his, after his rhetoric, man. All right. Yeah, this is Romans 6:1. It says, "What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound?" All right. Oh, the Lord has an abundance of grace for us, so we should just go off. No, like they do in the Roman Catholicism and in all aspects of Christianity. That's what they do. The Most High Yahweh forbid. It says, "How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? Know ye not that so many of us as were baptized into Yahweh Shai Hamashiach were baptized into his death?" All right. Hey, it says we're dead to sin, man. So we do the things that are well pleasing unto Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. And then in our shortcomings, we ask the Lord to pardon us and forgive us. All right. Therefore, we are buried with him by baptism into death, that like as Hamashiach was raised up from the dead by the glory of the Father, even so we also should walk in newness of life. It says, if any man be in Hamashiach, he is a new creature. Correct? So you put the old man away. You're not walking in those same ways that you used to, man. All right. And sometimes it is a growing process, and then sometimes and oftentimes Jake has to stop bullshitting and just hop on, man. All right. For if we have been planted together in the likeness of his death, we shall be also in the likeness of his resurrection. Knowing this, that our old man is crucified with him, that the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we should not serve sin. All right. Yeah, this is Romans chapter 3, I started verse 30. It says, "Seeing it is one power which shall justify the circumcision by faith and uncircumcision through faith. Do we then make void the law through faith? The Most High forbid. Yeah, we establish the law through the Spirit, which is what? Faith. We're doing these things for faith value, not face value. All right? I can say that again. We're doing it for faith value and not face value. You know, that's what it's really all about. Like Yahweh Shai says, it says the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. All right, we understand that there is one in heaven that is observing, and we're trying to perform for Him. Now, We're just rehearsing. So yeah, some notes they go flat, some go right, some you can do better. That's what we're doing. All right? But we're not saying that, hey, nah, well, this is God given. We ain't got to perform. We ain't never, we all right. No, that's not what we're saying, man. You're going to fail the test. But same time, we understand that there's not perfection given in this flesh. All right? The Lord did not provide it that because this was a runner up. This flesh right here was a runner up to the body that He's about to give us, man, which is perfection. All right? I'm gonna just start at verse 6. Yeah, this is Hebrews 8:6. It says, "But now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises. For if that first covenant had been faultless, there should no place have been sought for the second." But it says, "For finding fault with them, finding fault with us," because we were going off, man. Jacob's willingly going off and ignorantly going off. Likewise is now. He saith, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah." All right, northern and southern kingdom. "Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand and to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts," which is their mind, their inward parts. "And I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people." So we're gonna be many gods, man. All right. When I said, yeah, we're gods right now by by our Father being the power, Yahweh Shai, our Father being the power as well. All right, being a power Salakia, you know. But we're gonna have that ruling judge body to go along with that, to go along with these spirits that are Yasharala, man. We're gonna be crowned with a heavenly body. What does it say that this body, this vile body, shall be, it shall be made like unto His glorious body? This is Philippians 3:21. "Who shall change our vile body that it may be fashioned like unto His glorious body?" That's when we're gonna be performing, man. "According to the working whereby He is able even to subdue all things unto Himself." All right. So the the impossible thing that the Lord is gonna do. This marvelous thing that the Lord is gonna do, man. He's gonna make our people, starting with the elect, perfect. He's gonna make them perfect. All right. This isn't just something that we saying. This is something that we believe. It is, when you actually think upon it, it is unimaginable. But with the Lord, it's not impossible, man. Like Yahweh Shai said, nothing is impossible with Yahweh Shai. Yeah, this is Galatians 3:6. "Even as Abraham believed the Most High, and it was accounted to him for righteousness. Know ye therefore that they which are of faith, the same are the children of Abraham. In the Scripture, foreseeing that the Most High would justify the heathen, which is the